First off, back off, Vince. You can have all non-monetary here. Donate all to WWE. Got a question from a fan out west. And I understand this material for the new book is difficult if you've never been privy to it before. And the manuscript will be coming out. I was going to do a video 10 today, but he had this question. He was like, well, what is a chakra? So I thought that was pretty important. And as I go through this video, I'll take some information out of Wheels of Life. I'll take some information from what was taught to me from Vince Lacey, a mighty, mighty soul at Now Creations in Ohio, and my own experience. And we'll go through and define these chakras, figure out what they are, and how to take advantage. So, we'll call it 1000 BC in India. Chakra originated. Tantric, pro-life, pro-spirit. And there's 7 chakras. And these are energy centers or vortexes. You have the crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root. And we'll go through each one of these. But just have that visualization of certain points up and down your spine. So let's give an English definition to chakra with reason and logic. So these are organization centers of the reception, assimilation, and the transmission of life energies. Organizational centers of the reception and assimilation and transmission. So it's like receive, what am I getting, put it back out. And it's funny when you think about this, how can I get you to understand this, right? More of a layman's terms. Because you're not seeing it or touching it, right? We can go back to, science in the Western world that over 90% of the whole universe is dark energy. And that doesn't mean it's bad. They're just like, we can't see it, it's dark. Think of this as these chakras, these different vortexes, energy points, as your dark digestive system. Your dark nervous system, per se. So let's get into it a little bit, Dave. Let's see here. Let's try and break it down more like from a reasonable standpoint, right? You have your rational mind, your logic and reason. You get your subliminal mind, which controls 90%. And then you got your physical body. Plus your higher self. Or soul, for lack of a better word. And maybe you don't adhere to a soul or a higher self. You don't believe in that. And I guess a good example, seeing is believing. You know, if you've seen somebody who's dead at a wake, you know that life force is gone. So that is a different way to think about it and put it on equal terms. So I know a lot of people have also been asking, you know, Stephen, what's the quantum superhighway? And it's like, if you really want to find out what the quantum superhighway is, you gotta learn to activate each one of these. Become more wave, less particle. Go to places where breath isn't needed. So what I want to do to go through and explain this is, there's a meditation I've been doing now for, it's had to be at least 6 months. And I think it's a great meditation for anybody who wants to like find out, like, how can I get good at this at the fastest, most efficient way? Like, currently, I have 2 years with no interruptions from all my previous stuff. But 2 years, no interruptions. And this is only 13 minutes long. It's super effective. It kills kind of the objections that most people have. It's a laser beam focused, right? You're just like having a personal trainer almost with you. You're not just pushing and pulling when you go into the gym. And then, like, you activate all these chakras, and like I said, like, think of Voltron all coming together. Boom, 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 and then all of a sudden, you know, I'm not Steven anymore. I'm Voltron. I'm all of this together. I can let that go. And you're doing it with intention. Intentional awareness. So, the first chakra is the crown chakra. Right up here. Right above your head. And its shape in this particular meditation, which I love, is 1,000 rose petals. Or just petals, because the color is violet. Over here. The sound for this chakra is Om, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And the mantra, everything is connected. So a lot of people have not meditated before, or if they ever tried it, it's usually like, I just can't do it. My mind just works too fast. I can't slow it down. And also, we've been programmed that, I always love this joke I heard, it's for Buddhists and Californians, right? It's like, this is bullshit. It's nonsense. People are wasting their time or whatever they're talking about. But if we can go back to that last fact about the universe is over 90% dark energy, and we're made of stardust, and there's vortexes here, because think about it. When you're not feeling good, my head hurts. Oh, I got a sore throat. I'm heartbroken. The shit ain't digested. I'm having sexual frustration. Or I remember falling on my spine one time skateboarding. That's how I learned I was allergic to aspirin. Like, if these are off, you're going to feel it. So that gives me some stock in it. So like I said, I'll put this meditation in the link. It's 13 minutes. It has bilateral beats, which they help electricity get through the left and right hemisphere, you know, so you can be more creative and have more of a balance. But they'll guide and they'll start one at a time. And they'll start at the crown. And the crown is the fastest way to the Wi-Fi, the God energy. Like, you want the fastest connection? You're getting it right here. Think of it almost like when angels, right? They always have a halo. Think of it just like that. I always like to think of when I'm tapping in, and I think of it just like the quantum superhighway. There's this whole connection up here that I can just delve into, and it's a really like a heavenly white light. And when it comes down into the chakra, when I breathe in, I spin this chakra, and it's 1,000 petals violet, and I see a smaller version of myself in there just spinning that thing, spinning it, and then I'm saying Om as I inhale. And then the mantra comes up and it's like, everything is connected. Everything is connected. And there's a smaller version of myself in there doing it, wearing exactly what I'm wearing. And I hit that thing with a tuning fork. Boom. And it just explodes out. Open it up. And where we go through each one, but when you say you're having trouble calming your mind down, or I don't want to do this, all you need to do is take a slow breath through your nostrils. And do it as slow as you can, as deep as you can, with intention, starting from the bottom here and picture it just filling all the way up. And once it does, I mean, you might, you haven't taken a deep breath like this slowly in a long time. So your first reaction is going to be like, you want to breathe it out quickly. Try to stop that and just slowly push it out. And even though you're going to want to take a deep breath quicker, just push all the air out completely. And then hold for a second, and you'll find you'll be okay. Then you can continue to inhale. But while you're doing this, it's going to be difficult. It's, some workouts are tougher than others. It's only going to come with repetition. But you can go, if your mind is wandering to, man, did I leave that stove on? Wait, I'm pretty sure that bill is due tomorrow. And so on and so forth. You can breathe in, you can say Om. You can just think about the color and the picture. One or all. It doesn't matter. Focus on whatever comes to you. Every workout's different. Every body's different. What works for me may not work for you. But I think with this effectiveness of putting your awareness on it as you drop down, because you're slowly leaving behind that for where it's always coming from. Think of it like when you have inspiration. How do you think of that thought? I don't know. I just pulled it out of thin air. All right. Let's go to number 2. Third eye. I'm sure most people are familiar with the third eye. They've seen it on people from India with the red dot. It was never really explained to me when I was younger. I would see people, Indians running hotels and convenience stores, and you would see them periodically, and they'd have the red dot. But no one ever was like, this is what that's for. Exactly. And I don't know, I'm sure there's probably all kinds of different sects of that religion in India, and it might mean different things for different people. But the third eye, this is the portal to different dimensions. Okay? Why is that? Well, it's not far from your pineal gland. Get those crystals going to release the DMT. But its shape is an inverted triangle, and it's indigo. Purple, blue, deep. Its sound is ooh. For me, now it's different for other people, but this is how I learned, so it works for me. Its mantra is free the mind. Now, what's a trick really to get these visuals going? Because everybody sees different things, right? And when you're getting in your third mind, you're thinking of the color over here, indigo, dark purple, blue. And this is almost like when I'm getting, after I've already had so many breaths for the crown chakra, like I'm already getting there. And my eyes always go up anyway, like at a 45-degree angle. But if you do this, it's scientifically proven to produces alpha waves, which is an example if you relate, if you're driving in your car and you're like, oh shit, I'm driving. You know, you're already projected somewhere else, or you're talking to somebody and just, you're not even there. So breathing through this chakra, again, I picture a smaller version of myself, and I also do picture another life-size version of myself floating and looking at me. This is what I do. I mean, I'm just trying to make it simple by doing the shape, the color, the sound, the mantra, and I don't expect you to remember all this through the first time. I mean, I don't know if you could just take away 3 or 4 thoughts from it, then that'd be great, because it's a lot of information. But in the link below, the video is 13 minutes. Like I said, it's really easy. And they'll go over it. They'll say, this is what it looks like. You know, here's the shape, here's the color, here's the mantra. And you'll just go through it one at a time. Lighten them up. Oh, I don't know if I just touched on that or not, but when you hit this mantra up, free the mind, you know, you hit that tuning fork again, boom. And now this stuff just shoots out indigo in every direction. As far as you can see, just lighten up the room. Huge. Excuse me. But again, remember just to breathe slowly through your nostrils. Fight the urge to inhale and exhale quickly after a long breath. Once you can learn to control your breath, which is 22,000 inhales and exhales a day, which is mostly done subliminally, and you start to take control of it, and you're able to calm down your different systems and get to that point of rational, subliminal, physical, emotional, higher self. It's a pretty powerful thing. And by activating, I mean, you can almost think of this as a runway. You know, coming down from quantum to the earth back up. All right. The third chakra is the throat chakra. I'm sure you can guess where that's located. And it's super important, right? Because it having to do with your words. How you're looking at it through your avatar in the day-to-day life and perceiving things. And how then you give that back out at people. So they like to think of this shape, they call it a mandala. And I just think, I don't know, it's like that Jewish thing I think of like this huge die, and it's got all these hieroglyphics on the side of it. And its color is blue. So like that's one of those things you could spin, you know what I mean? Sound is O. And its mantra, my words are especially true, pure and true. So again, for me, I'm breathing in slowly through my nose, and I'm picturing a little me in here, and then another me out here looking down. And he's over there and he's spinning that thing and spinning that thing, and then it starts going faster than light speed, and it's like, and then I hear that mantra, my words are especially pure and true. And it just explodes everywhere. When I speak through the O, it's pure true. Blue. Number 4 is probably the most important. Heart chakra. It's the Star of David. Green. I like to think of emerald green and some camouflage. Sound. I. Mantra. And I've added to this one. I choose love. And it chooses me. So everybody already knows how powerful the heart is. But it's funny, I saw this diagram, and it was like it starts here. It just went around all the way, activating them, and it was... I mean, it even had me coming up with a quote in the... I think it's chapter 5 of Coloring the Heart. When you walk with an open heart, you start to realize you're running. And I actually had quite an experience. It was about 2 weeks ago where I just did this mantra over and over and over and over again. And maybe about 30 minutes in, it just goes, poof! Everything was green, emerald green. And it was anywhere you wanted to go and see. I mean, it was amazing. And that meditation lasted 2 hours, but it felt like 20 minutes. So this activation of the heart, vital. Like Dr. Cho says, like when you learn to breathe through the heart, he's like, you know, you're going to see some different things happen. And I'm not telling you like, oh, if you learn how to do this meditation and you open up all your chakras, you know, wealth, happiness, love, all that stuff's going to find you. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you're going to see things you didn't see before, that you thought were mundane and you were just cruising, and you won't be looking through that same kaleidoscope. So again, you're breathing in slow through the nose, as long as you can, as deep as you can, filling it up. Exhale it all the way out, and you're saying, I choose love. It chooses me. You see a green light lighting up, spinning faster than you've ever seen, and then just explode. You hit it with a tuning fork. Boom. Care Bear stare if you want to. You know what I mean? But it's a limitless resource. It's one breath away. The only time you're short on love is when you don't want to give it. All right, solar plex. This is going to be at your resting elbow level if you're sitting in a chair. Its shape's going to be an inverted triangle. It's going to have 10 petals around it. White, I like to think. Its color, I like to think of a deep yellow. Because this is like where your passion comes from. You know, it's got your digestive tract in it. Its sound is E. And its mantra, which I've added to, is smile big, shine bright, which you guys know. You can almost think of the solar plex. I like to think of it kind of like a mini sun, like nuclear reactor. Because again, if we can go back to science real quick, it's like the majority of solar systems are binary. Right? So it's right there inside of you. And again, you do the same thing. You spend a couple minutes there. You put intentional awareness on it. You light it up. Welcome to the program. Hey, are you talking to me? Yeah. I hear in my head, loud as I just said it. Smile big, shine bright. Boom. Explode. I like that if you're watching this and you're going to try it, like you were getting an overview of what to expect and how to do it. You know, normally, I mean, I've just learned through putting one video on after another. And they're like, yeah, do this, and it's guided. But opening these one at a time is going to be so much more effective than you just going, okay, this is guided meditation. Right now, I just want to send some healing over here. And, you know, I really want to ask a question about whatever situation is going in my life, and I want to let this go, or, you know, whatever the reason is you want to meditate, you know, probably to reduce stress or get in touch more with your higher self. And if you, sure, there can be progress made there, but I'm saying this is laser beam focused, where if you can get this 13-minute meditation down in 30 days, things will start changing. You'll take command of your breath. 22,000 inhales and exhales a day. You'll start to see a different kaleidoscope, and you'll do it with efficiency, which will make you want to do it. Because before, if you ever try it again, people are like, I got that monkey mind, I can't slow it down. Nah, my mind's just too fast, you know, whatever story you're telling yourself, or you're not going to make time for it. So 13 minutes, you got to do it in the morning, I would say. You got 13 minutes. Just throw it on and be like, I'm just giving 13 minutes right here in the chair. That's it. And then I'll go down and go to my sacral chakra, which is down by your sex organs. This is where we carry all the bullshit. Everything from the third dimension that ain't going good, man, you hold it up in here. So it's important to give this one some extra love. Its shape is a circle. 4 petals. And I like to think of them as green because the color is orange. Its sound is hey, as Vince cracked me up when he said it. Its mantra, happiness lies within. So again, I breathe very slowly through my nose. This guy that's out here watching my physical is seeing all this. This is indigo lit up, and this is violet, and there's blue lit up here, and there's green lit up here, and there's yellow here, and now I'm lighting up this orange. Hitting that A as I'm inhaling. Watching it spin fast, getting that coming in through the crown. Past the third eye, through the throat, the heart, solar, and getting that there. So then I'm really going to make touch with the earth here coming up and be able to recycle that. So again, what is a chakra, right? It's this organizational vortex center that's receiving and assimilating and transmitting dark energy. Quantum energy, things we can't see, but it's there, right? Its frequency is higher that I can see or touch or feel or taste. But in my third eye, in my higher self, when I start to get to these places and I'm opening up this energy that I didn't know was there, I see I'm much more powerful than I ever thought. And then we get down to the root chakra, which is right at the tailbone of your spine. The shape, it's a circle, compass in a square, 6 petals. Color, red. Sound, ah. Mantra, take root. So now you're repeating the process again. Okay, I'm putting my awareness down here in my spine. I see this red, it's spinning, it's getting brighter and brighter and spinning faster than I ever thought it could spin. And I hear ah and take root. Now that you've gone through all 7, crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root. You come down here, you hit Gaia up. And I like to think of this light, like I said earlier, real heavenly, real light and pure. It gets to the earth, it gets a little bit more thick, you know. It's getting a tint of yellow in it. It's a little thicker. Now I'm recycling back up, and I'm leaving, you know, this avatar of Stephen that I put so much stock in, that I believe so much in, that this has nothing to do with him. Opening up this pathway, this Voltron, when you connect everything. Because again, go back to thinking about seeing a person at a wake, and you know that life force is gone. But we haven't really seen the power of demonstrating the life force, because we don't live there in a top mind awareness. That's what the book is really about, is having that top mind awareness first. You're me and I'm you. We're all made of stardust. How can I access this? How can I just... There's different vibrations, obviously. We all know nothing is really solid. How can I get there? Because there's somebody running that train every day, and it's like, is the day running me? I'm running the day. There's a lot of banter up there. So give that guy a break, man. Send him on a coffee break. Send him on a smoke break. 13 minutes. Really put your awareness in this stuff. Like, seeing that color, hearing that sound. If it's just like a color in the sound, you're like, oh, the roots, ah, and red. I'll just picture that. Don't ask me to do too much, you know? And I don't want you to. I want to do what works best for you, because it's just like going to the gym. Some workouts work well for other people that, you know, don't take hold. And if you aren't taking this into consideration, that the earth is a super conscious being, way stronger than us, way more advanced than us, you know, you need to recognize that. Like, how many humans on the planet? How many Earths? And all the damage, where you're like, oh, we're doing damage to the environment. Think of the power that now you can tap into. This Earth wants to evolve just like you. Been here a lot longer, too. But we can take advantage of that. You know, just by grounding. I didn't realize how powerful this was. Like, I knew what it was, but I didn't understand. When someone was like, you never touch her. You never touch her skin. With all these barriers in the way, right? You got shoes and socks on. Let's just start there. What if you just took your shoes and socks on and just rooted down in the earth with intention and awareness? You know, to say thank you, to say how you doing. Say, man, I love the way the azaleas came out. Thank you for this great weather. And then harnessing that power, because you've already taken in, you start at the crown, right? So you're connecting to the God, like the source energy, and You're bringing it down, and now give it to the earth. Send it back us as a combine. You hit your third eye, and then it explodes. And that's a realm that'll take you a while to get to, but it's well worth the time, well worth the trouble. This is a tough video, huh? Thanks for asking the question. I needed to go over it myself. So let's just recap real quick. And we'll call this one. We've been taught that, meditation is BS. I can't see it, touch it, feel it, it's not real. But we know that breath is real. Right? We know we take 22,000 inhales and exhales a day. So that's vital to our physical experience on the earth plane. And it's mostly done on a subliminal basis. I remember a question from 7th grade just popped in my head, and the teacher's like, "Nah, you got this wrong." I'm like, "You don't think I know breathing's involuntary?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're right." One point I'm going to argue over. But now that I have a different, that was taught to me, now that I think, well, wait, what if I just take some intention, some time, and some awareness, and I start getting behind the wheel a little bit more, understanding what I was taking advantage of, overlooking, like the power it holds and how much they say, we can take 2 pints in of air, and just mastering that, being able to, when you're in a bad situation, people are like, calm down, take a breath. Yet that's all the awareness we put on it that we've been taught. Take a breath, which is the last thing you want to hear. But we don't give stock in this. So when you do that, you can tap into that dark energy, and I'm not talking about Satan. Let's not forget Lucifer is the angel of light. But we're free to choose whatever we want to do. And if this is over 90% of the known universe by mainstream science, and I mostly was always doing this involuntary, once I put these facts together, maybe I should put some awareness on taking 13 minutes out of my day to see if I can let go of what I've been holding on to as truth, stone, and understanding exactly what I've been gifted with. The bilateral beats on the meditation, they help immensely. Again, people are always like, I just can't. If someone was in the yoga class and at the end you're in Shavasana and they're like, it's like a 10 to 15 minute lay on your back meditation, and you don't have headphones in, if you've never done it before, it's going to be super difficult for you, straight up. So why not just put your earbuds in? You have them all the time. Make it easy. Put it on a lower volume. It doesn't need to be, like 30%. This will really help you calm down. And then the guidedness comes in. It's like, we're going to open the crown chakra. 1,000 petals, violet. Breathe that through. I add the Om. Hit it with the tuning fork. Boom, blast off. Everything is connected. Everything is connected. Purple, violet, everything's connected. These little tricks can just help, because you'll say them, maybe you're getting into it, you've done it for a week or so, and then all of a sudden, the last thing you thought was, wait, wasn't I just saying that mantra? Where'd I go? What was that? And you'll find when you get to these certain places, you'll get zapped back real quick because it's brand new and you're like, oh, what the, freaked out a little bit. But just slow your breathing down, you'll be fine. It's that exhaling completely that's a big deal too. All the way exhale. And fight that urge to go and blow out again. take that deep, after you exhale and you want to gasp, but don't exhale. And you'll find you'll calm and you can just keep inhaling slowly. And as time goes on, it'll become much easier. You'll be able to lower your heart rate and raise your frequency and vibration. But exhaling all the way and flexing, because most people in the United States, I'm guilty of it probably still, mouth breathers. Before I went to yoga, it was all breathing through the mouth. So you can get to the same way. But then, it's taught to me the nose is specifically made for breathing, and it has a filtration system. And I need to put my awareness there and learn that that's where it needs to be done. So, the link's in there. You've never meditated before. You're like, chakras, well, vortexes, certain parts of my body, colors, spaces or shapes, and different sounds. 1000 BC India, huh, Stu? I mean, if you're interested in exploring it, just try to do more right than wrong, right? Just 4 out of 7 days. I'll throw it on 13 minutes. I think you'll find that some workouts are better than others, but you're never going to get worse at anything you keep doing. Just put in the work. And what kind of work is it really? You got to put headphones on and sit in a chair and breathe. And you're fighting the concept of your rational mind telling you, I'll do that anytime. Yeah, that's nothing. 13 minutes. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, what's 13 minutes going to do? And you're hearing this story and you're like, not putting in 13 minutes. Use the headphones for sure. I mean, even if you just want to the least amount of effort would be just putting this on for 13 minutes before you fall asleep. Or you're taking a nap and you're like, I ain't putting in headphones, but I'll just put it on my phone for a minute. That'll grow. It'll get easier. Use the trick of put your eyes up at a 45-degree angle when they're closed. This will help induce the alpha waves. You can either sit down, they recommend that you always keep your spine straight. But hey, man, Edgar Casey is the most prolific prophet of our time. And he laid on the couch. So do whatever feels right for you. If you really want to succeed, start writing down what happens and how it felt. See your progress. Make it real. I'm always harping on that. And once you get good at this, here's the real what's going to happen. When you get good at this, it's 13 minutes. I'm not asking... dude, if you want to or not, I guess it's just not a lot to ask. Is the point I'm trying to make 13 minutes. Because after you get this 13 minutes, and you put your awareness there, and I'm out here is what I do. I watch myself, and I got my little me in here watching myself, and all of these are open. And coming up now, I'm flowing, and I can... that 13 minutes will lead into 40. And I'll slow my breath. Very minimal. And that's when I find that you're really going to start to free that third eye and get into that quantum superhighway. So I hope that made sense. I think that's about it here. Chakras, interesting. Vortexes, energy centers. Receiving, assimilating, transmitting. Smile big, shine bright.